All right, hello everybody. This is our group project. Ours was we're using the Raspberry Pi camera to turn into a time lapse photography Internet of Things device. And then so I've got two scripts, Python scripts. The first one that you can see here is the time lapse photography one. Basically, it's just a pretty straightforward one. Just takes pictures, um, frame count, frame stop, and all that stuff here. And then it takes those pictures, puts them into a string, and then converts those images into a video, and then and then it turns it into a video, and then it gets rid of all the old ones. At the end of this script, I've put in this code so that it can run the other script that uploads the video into the bucket, and that s3 upload.python script looks something like this. Obviously, this is exactly what it is without my credentials. Obviously, that's. But yeah, so basically, Boto3, we're using Boto3 bucket S3 region. Our bucket that we're using is the timelapse groupproject.com, and we're going to upload timelapse.mp4. So if you look here at the moment, you only have the two scripts, and there's nothing in there. So if I go back to my timelapse one, just to show you how it runs, if I click that and run it, I've only put 10 frames, and usually it takes more than that. You use more frames to have a better time-lapse photography. But yeah, so at the moment, if you look down at our bucket, we've got nothing. We've only got some other stuff that we put in there. But I'll explain these two things later, just so that. So as you can, if you go back to that bit, so yep, so it's done. So that means it's done. So what should happen, if you go back to the time-lapse thing, you can see that there's that video right there. So that S3 upload Python should have taken that and uploaded up into this. So we'll see if we can refresh it and see if it shows up. And there it is, right there. Okay, so that's basically our script with the thing. So what we did for this one is, if we go back to our Amazon S3, and then if we look at this timelapse. So this is our bucket. This is my bucket, and this is this other bucket is a redirect bucket. Basically, what happens is, if for static website hosting, what happens is if anybody we used basically, what did we use? Yeah. So anyways, so if we were to look up that won't work. This, if I go on Google, and then hopefully it comes up. We go on Google, and then we look up timelapsegroupproject.com. That was our group project. That's the static website hosting. You can see that from that website we've got all of these things. So I wrote this thing up, and then that's still a work in progress. But still, you see, that's a lot of things you can do. And then if you look at that, that was a link that we uploaded so that it could just see if it works properly. But yeah, so we could upload all those time lapse things onto this, and then yeah. So if we go back to that, so basically we used our time-lapse photography to upload it into an S3 bucket, and then we also use that S3 bucket as hosting. The way we did that hosting was, so we used the Route 53, and that's a pretty good thing to do. Basically, you just go through all of that to get a domain. And then, so if you look at the hosted zones, we've got I've got this time-lapse group project that I made it public so it can, so it can do all that stuff. So if you look at my registered, one of the things you have to do is you have to register a domain, and then you pay. Obviously, you pay for it, but yeah, so that belongs to our group. That belongs to our time-lapse group, and so yeah, so that was a pending request. But once it goes through, then it belongs to you, and then you can do whatever you want. And yeah, so anybody can come and check out our website. And so that's our group project. We used once again we used the Raspberry Pi 3 with the Pi camera with S3 bucket, and then we also used the S3 bucket and F3 management, F3 route 53, sorry, to register a domain, and then use that S3 bucket to use it as a static website hosting bucket as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with cloud, and this is just one of the things, some of the things we used for us. All right, hope you enjoy. Thanks.